Alright, so I'm gonna go through the binder that I used for my occupational therapy level 2 fieldworks. I've taken some stuff out of here, just site specific printouts. So printouts of evaluations, notes that were given to me so I can learn better. But I will go through. I would keep this binder in my book bag with me at fieldwork, and I would carry this clipboard around with me, and I have another video about like kind of what's in there. I at least carried it with me for my acute care and inpatient rehab placements. So on the front, this is kind of not the best setup because I ran out of sticky notes at fieldwork, but still wanted to write things down. So I have a piece of paper in the front here that is, like obviously you can pull it in and out of this front pocket. And I have sticky note and made out of paper sticky note and tape. Made out of paper sticky notes with tape. That are kind of like evidence-based practice things for me of like diagnoses that I was not familiar with or didn't feel skilled enough for, and what I could do with them. So like I have kind of bullet points of what the evidence-based practice for stroke is and how to prevent subluxation. Because even though we talk about that in school, I just didn't feel like I was remembering it well enough, and so I wanted to have a quick reference. And then in acute care, I was seeing a lot of encephalopathy, and we hadn't really talked about that much in school, and so I have my sticky note for it. And then when you open up my binder, we have our pocket over here. And I have two printouts of different home exercise programs with TheraBands that I just found online. You can find them online at any time, but it is really helpful to have a printout so that you can easily grab it if you don't have time to make a copy, which often happens, or if you want to just be able to scan it really quick. And I picked these out specifically for like their, one's a little more complex and one's a little less. This one, which was made by an OT, has like nice arrows that I can use a highlighter for, just to lower that cognitive barrier to following the directions. And then this is the schedule that we agreed to use for both of my field works. It's just mostly increasing my caseload by one patient per day. So I'd go see everybody, but I'd go see everyone with my fieldwork educator, but I'd only be responsible for treating or evaluating that number of people per day, and writing up their notes. On the other side here, I actually got this from my first fieldwork educator, is a list of like movement disorder terms. So like ideational apraxia, torticollis, and some other stuff in here, but just like terms like that. This one's hard for me. Dysdiadokinesia, ataxia. That way I'd have the ability to refer back to this. And I might put some stuff down in the description if you need any of these forms. Make my documentation sound more skilled and to understand other people's. And then we start my section. So this is measures for assessments. So I have a guide for manual muscle testing that has both the numbers, so like 1, 2 minus 2, and also the trace, poor, fair, good, which was really helpful to have to refer back to. You talk to a lot of other people about those ratings. And then the functional balance scale I used in both of my field works. The Barthel Index, which I love for a standardized measure, especially in long-term care, it was really nice. The REAPS, which is a wheelchair positioning score that can be nice to make goals for long-term care again. Then the Kansas University Balance Scale. I used that in both fieldwork placements, which I was really surprised because I had never seen it before. The Berg Balance Assessment. I printed this out because I was told we might use it, and then we didn't, so it's just in there for me to use some other time. Functional reach. This might be overkill to print out, but I really like having the guideline for like what the scores mean readily available, because it can be hard to find them quickly online, and a big thing in being a good fieldwork student is being able to keep up the pace. Timed up and go, that way I could read the exact instructions. Mini mental. I never gave this one. We just did the BIMs. And then this section is for like documentation tools. I love this paper, which again, my first fieldwork educator gave me. It is the description of when to use low, moderate, or high complexity eval codes, because you tell them essentially for how much you need to be reimbursed, and that was not something I knew how to figure out. And then there are descriptions of different CPT codes and like what belongs in each of them, which was really helpful for me, because when you write a treatment note in certain systems, you write like Therex is the code you've chosen for a certain number of minutes, and then you have to write what you did that goes under that code. And so you want to be sure that you're writing what falls under that code, so that it doesn't get denied. And then this is not the best paper. I don't need a decision tree, but it's GG coding with a decision tree that basically gives you no help, but the coding is nice, and I use that in both settings. FIM you use all the time in like conversation. I made in school, I don't need this as much now. I feel like I quickly learned, but it is nice to have it first. What different type of cueing terms mean. So like tactile cues was not something that was easy for me to understand. And what min, mod, max cueing would be. And then I have a SOAP note guide here. Neither of my settings required me to write SOAP notes, but it was still good to have. And that's everything that was in my binder. Again, for a better idea of like what I was carrying around with me each day, you could look at my videos that I made before about my clipboard, and then I'm not sure what the other one's titled, but you could probably find it for what I carried around with me at the SNF. And that's everything. I also, would carry evaluation and notes in the back here, but I can't show you that. All right, have a good day. I actually forgot a section in the back here. So I would carry different precautions around with me in both places, or not around with me, in my binder. In both places, it was nice, again, to be able to quickly make a copy that were like, it can be hard to find online. Simple pictures, large print, just what you need. So we have a log rolling picture, total shoulder, and you always follow what the doctor has written, but having pictures ready was nice. reverse total shoulder, anterior hip precautions, sternal precautions. Yeah. Okay, that is actually it.